Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Clannad, episode 9.
Alright.
Foucault. Yeah, everyone's starting to forget, but so far, Tomoya and Nagisa haven't.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's where the story is going to take us in terms of giving them the only ones that remember her. I feel like there has to be a point where one of them doesn't remember, and then it's just the question of whether or not the final one will continue to remember. Because there's been obviously the emphasis dramatically on Nagisa and Tomoya or Okazaki as being the main characters here.
Right.
So while the stuff with Foucault is really heartbreaking, it's something that has been really, really established as something that's going to be a contained story. So,
Right, because if everyone forgets, then, yeah.
Well, right, but even just the story itself and the conflict as being something that could have been resolved in maybe a happy way just as much. But no, we can't have that in this story. We have
happiness
amnesia.
in Clannad.
We have
what
amnesia.
Are you talking
we have
about?
amnesia bullshit to come in at the end to give us pain. So thanks for that, Clannad. Yeah, but that's what we've got to look forward to here.
Yep.
But maybe they'll come together in a closer way through the process. Who knows? But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh my god. Oh, no.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Trying to make some concrete progress for the two of them while they remember her.
Ah!
せめて呼び捨てにさせてくれ。今日や友よにはそうしてるんだから。
では呼んでみてください。
渚。この方が抵抗ないな。
はい、私もです。私が呼ぶのはもう少し時間をいただかないと。それで妥協します。
Foucault will accept that, yes.
そう偉そうなんだよ。
フーコは渚さんも岡崎さんも大好きですから、幸せになってほしいです。お姉ちゃんとユウスケさんみたいに。
Yeah.
Like them?
Uh-huh.
Wait, I think I've seen that gif before.
You might have. Foucault is pretty popular as far as gifts go.
Yeah, it was literally the part when she put it on and Nagisa was in frame. Yeah. Number 1 in Japan! You're number 1 in our hearts right now, Foucault, yeah. Wow! What, do we gotta summon an archdevil here?
お前、それかぶってはしゃぎたいだけなんじゃないのか?
She says with a big smile on her face.
This is super sweet. Oh. Ah.
コウコさん、おめでとう。
伊吹先生、おめでとうございます。
Poo poo poo.
Yep.
Yeah. But the candles will eventually burn out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Caught on
yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
フコ、寒くないか?
I caught on wick.
もっと固まりましょう。
God damn it.
おしくらまんじゅうみたいであったかくなります。
Aw.
大家族
Okay.
です。
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
古川
Oh. Both of them?
なんだなんで
Yeah,
こんな場
here
所
we
で寝て
go.
るんだ
Oh. Does she remember?
演劇部復活の方法を考えてそのまま寝ち
Oh.
そう言われてみるとそんな気がしますけど。
眠っちまったらしいんだ
こんな言い訳が言いたい
That's what I'd like to say. Yeah, yeah, sure.
困るってことは夕べ聞いてたような気がするぞ娘よ
My daughter.
今朝部室にあったよ
私の部屋にもあったんです。見てると落ち着くんです。
But looking at it calms me.
Yep.
気持ちになりませんか？
No, it's probably slightly different, but
Yeah.
but it's still a feeling.
He looks at it and he has the distinct urge to prank somebody.
ああ、暇なのね。ねえ、明日の日曜付き合いなさいよ。
Oh, is your arc next?
買い物に行くの。
な明日は何か予定があったような気が
何よその曖昧な逃げ方。
逃げてるわけじゃない明日本当に何かあったような気がするんだとても大切な用事が
Hmm.
Yep.
小村先生、
Perfect.
何してらっしゃるんですか？
Yeah.
見てわからんかの。
誰か結婚するのか
不思議なことを聞くの。その若さでもう記憶力が衰えた。
あん
Oh.
たに言われるとマジへこむぞ
これをよう見て思い出してみ。
コウコさん
伊吹先生。
俺はどうしてコウコさんを祝ってやろうって思ったんだろ
また不思議なことを言う。そういう間柄であるからじゃろうに。
私たちのことつないでくれた人が他にもう一人いたような。
それは伊吹先生の妹さんではないかの。
う
Hmm.
それではの。
風子ちゃん。
そうだフーコ
Oh.
風ちゃん。
ずっと俺たちのそばに最悪だよ
Oh.
あんなに忘れたくないって思ってたのに
最悪じゃないです。自然なことです。
俺たちずっとお前といたいんだ
一緒にいましょう、風ちゃん。
Nope.
And she still has that hat on.
Yeah.
はい。
Good. Until the wedding happens. Yeah, because you can't stay with her forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Please give us the wedding this episode. Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay.
私はこの指輪を私の永遠の愛を誓
I
う
love how much he looks like
あなたに
Tomoya.
No.
主に先回りするんだよ誰よりも大きな声で見送ってやろうなあルカ
Oh. Oh.
岡崎さん、これは。
No way. No way. So did them remembering make everybody else remember?
今
Oh my god.
日藤林
そのつもりだったん
But
で
then we saw this star thing in our bags.
朝起きてこれを見たら
Yeah,
結婚式
yeah.
のことを思い
Yeah.
出してお祝いに駆けつけなくちゃって気がして
えっ角原
来てくださった
Look at Sunahara.
Yep.
暇だったからね。
Of
キ
course.
ラさんご一行も
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Everybody.
Literally everybody.
Yep.
お父さん
やっぱりお前も来てたか
My daughter, yes.
当日になるまで結婚式のことを忘れてたなんてどうかしてますか
よかったな
Hmm. Like, whoa.
Yep.
Wait. And for them, it must feel like a surprise, like suddenly all the students were
Oh, yeah.
because they weren't
Yep.
there when they came in, you know?
いつも楽しい場所に風子を引っ張っていってくれて毎日がお祭りみたいでとても楽しかったです。ありがとうございました。風子、楽しかったです。
Voice growing more and more distant.
Yep. Yeah.
どうかしましたか？ なんだか悲しそう。
聞いてください、コウコさん。こんな風景を待ち焦がれていたやつがいたんだ。こんな日を目指して頑張ってたやつがいたんだ。たった一人でコウコさんへの祝福をたくさん集めたやつが。俺たちはそいつのことが好きだったから、本当に好きだったから。
岡崎さんと渚ちゃんはずっとあの子と一緒にいてくれたんですね。
俺たちがあいつといたのは楽しかったから、ただそれだけです。ここに集まってるやつらも同じです。だからコウコさん、あいつの思いの分までどうか幸せになってください。
And this from our standoffish boy.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Oh.
おめでとう、お姉ちゃん。ずっと幸せに。
Okay, give me some relief here, show.
Yeah, exactly,
Come on.
right?
私たちが幸せな気持ちでい続ければ、きっ
Oh.
とあの子も幸せな気持ちでいられるって今で
Yeah,
そう信じられます。
for sure.
Now she can move on too.
Yep.
ねえ、さっきから気になってるんだけど、それ
これいつの間にか部屋にあったんだよ。どこで手に入れたか覚えてないんだけど。
Yep.
でもこれってあれだよな。人で
Ah, cool. Everyone knows exactly what it is and what it's intended for,
Yep.
and it reached them all
ちょっと
individually.
あんたも寝てないで会話に参加しなさいよ。友や。
I'm emotionally drained. I can sleep wherever I damn well please.
そしていつからかみんなが待っていた。その女
Nice.
の子が目覚める日を。
Yeah.
俺も間違いなくその一人だった。そしてその日はいつか。
もしよろしければ、風子のお友達になってください。
Yeah. Tango, tango, taikazuko. All right, that's the finale of the Fuko arc.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, our coma ghost girl has been relinquished back to the land of spirits and rumors and feelings that are caught on wisps of the wind, you know, little things there, but nothing.
They can't see her anymore, but she still lives on in their hearts, and they have the starfish to remind them of her.
Yeah, nothing really lasts permanently, but the permanence of the effect is still there, and that means a lot, because I liked Foucault as a character. I loved the interactions. I loved the fun. I loved the fact that they kind of acknowledged the fact that, yeah, like you're saying, it was a selfish reason. We were just there because she was fun to be around, and it's like, well, okay, Baka, like of course there was that, but there's more to it than that too. So
it's the yes, they care about her, and so they would do plenty of things for her, but at the same time she was a wonderful enough person that it was they weren't
doing it out of pity.
Exactly, right. They were honestly thrilled to be able to spend the time with her, and they are truly devastated that she's now gone. And so this is basically your first, like, I feel like true, like, Clannad experience with, like, the you know, all right, hard emotions, you know, like let's, and they really twist the knife. Like the whole last half of the episode or so was basically just the post they've forgotten, and now, you know, let's you know, bring on the waterworks.
Yeah, I think that this is just one of those things where I'm used to this a lot more. Like if this was one of my first few anime, I would be a lot more emotionally devastated by this.
Yeah, there have been a lot of anime that have come out since Clannad that have,
or just I've seen, you know.
Well,
like,
sure.
I didn't watch anime generally in the order at which they've come out in the years. So
right, yeah, but it's one of the things where you might be able to see some of Clannad's influence on other anime, because this, for a very long time, this was like the the hallmark of the tearjerkers.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So Anohana, for instance.
Sure.
I would put in a similar vein.
Yeah, it's very similar, like, story to Foucault's.
Actually, yeah, decently similar. Yeah, I would say obviously Anohana gets the advantage that it's
the whole show is about that one story.
Right.
Whereas in Clannad, it's one arc in the show.
Yeah. But that's fine. That's fine. I like the broader scope because then we'll get more time with our main two characters and having it divested amongst a 6-character cast. But yeah, it's one of those things where I am emotionally in tune and connected to the characters, but in some ways, I feel like this arc was one that gave me almost too much time to prepare, to where I was like, I was able to kind of guard myself. So then by the time the finale for this episode essentially hit, it wasn't really until they did the debate and then they remembered her, and then they started bringing everything within the wedding context back in, that I was like, okay, now it's hitting me.
And that's one of the things that I think Clannad as a show really understands, that other stories could take note of, because while there's a lot of sad elements in Clannad, right? Like here, for instance, they forget Foucault, right? They can't see her anymore. That's really sad, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why it has such an emotional impact is not because it's sad. It's because there was happiness and sadness.
Yeah.
Right, neck and neck, all the way to the end, right? And I feel like a lot of the times there will be stories that will try and hit the sad emotions, and then as a result of that, it can either be something where, all right, we prepare ourselves for that, but then also it can kind of become a one-note emotion, that then isn't as complicated, and so it's sort of easier to deal with. Whereas here, the idea that, everyone actually did show up, right? Foucault, they did remember her, right?
Yeah.
Even if they don't necessarily know why they showed up, right? They see the starfish and they're like, oh, that's right, there was a wedding today. That's something that we get, that's this wonderful moment of victory amidst, we can't remember Foucault.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of amnesia storylines in general, especially when they're very obvious about why they're there. Like it's not a thing for the
right. It's a fantastical supernatural aspect that even made them able to see Foucault and all of this stuff in the first place. So then the amnesia stuff, it's also part of that fantastical aspect. So it's there basically for the emotional,
punching.
Yeah.
Even though it would hit just almost as hard if it was just that you wouldn't be able to see her again because she'd be gone. She'd move on. It'd be the idea of like, her spirit passed on. Like her spirit passed on, and she left all these wonderful memories and these impact on these people and stuff. But
right,
it's the idea that naturally over the course of time, people would be like, oh yeah, like they would remember her, but not everyone would be as attached to her.
Right.
Because they didn't care about her like you two did.
And that was one of the things that I thought was really cool that they brought up with Tomoyo and Nagisa when they were apologizing for having forgotten her, right? Because usually with this kind of story, this plot, usually it would be for someone who was dead. Right, and then it's their ghost, but it wasn't exactly that, right? Because Foucault's just comatose, right? She's still alive. Theoretically, she could come back, right? She could wake up and they could see their friend again,
exactly,
right? And that's and then because of that, you sort of have to go for the amnesia route, right? Because she's still around, right? There's no necessary reason for her to not be still running through the halls with a smile on her face.
Well, I mean, she's not physically there.
No, right. But since she was able to appear before them before, unless it was something where it's like because her sister was okay without her, she didn't need to, or something like that, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it very much felt like a thing where Tomoyo and Nagisa were talking to her of like you might if a ghost had shown up of like a dead friend, and it's like, I'm sorry, I forgot about you, like you weren't around, and then suddenly those moments that we shared together, I still cherish them absolutely.
Yeah.
And yet I feel like I've maybe abandoned you because you don't take up as much space in my life, in my mind and my life as you used to, even though you still have that big of a space in my heart, right?
Yeah.
And
the emotion hits really well for that. Yeah. So having the story be focused in a lot of ways around these two kind of building their connection through this shared experience, I think is really good, because that's a nice formula, I would say, for future storylines that also go along with this vibe of, hey, we're going to help other girls with their problems, so that then, I mean, hopefully eventually Sunohara gets, like maybe, a little bit of focus in that regard. But having it be a thing where then through it all, Nagisa and Tomoya, they get closer and closer together. And, an example of that is, hey, they're comfortable speaking to each other on a first name basis.
Yeah, and that was
a pretty big deal.
Because I couldn't remember. I was a bit emotionally distraught at the moment. But when Nagisa wakes him up, she uses his first name, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm 99% sure.
I'm pretty sure too, but I'm not positive.
I can go back to the exact bit here.
No, not at the beginning. Because he calls her Furukawa-san, but later in the classroom.
You're talking about right here, right?
No. I'm talking about at the very end of the episode when he's napping at his desk, and then she goes in. Oh no, I guess that wasn't Nagisa. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah.
No. Okay.
So you're not.
Yeah, no, because there it's Furukawa and Okazaki-san.
Yeah, they go back to talking to each other.
Which is right, part of the pain of like, oh yeah, because why Fuko's doing this. Like, even with the let's have the celebration now, it almost feels like a situation you might have with someone who is about to die and they can tell they're about to die. So even just waiting until tomorrow, she knows she doesn't have that time with these two. They are going to forget. So she tries to do this to
have a lasting impact.
Have a lasting impact. Have that celebration, those final moments. She desperately is trying to keep from falling asleep. Right. Mm-hmm. Let's get them to, be on a first name basis and, and things like that.
And it doesn't stick.
It doesn't stick.
Yeah. That was something that hit, but, but yeah, the idea that, okay, if the story follows Nagisa and Tomoya going about their, final year of high school?
Yeah.
Third year? Yeah. And getting to basically know a little bit more of the people in the school, this is going to be a really sweet thing for Nagisa to then make a bunch of friends.
Yep.
Because we're not necessarily going to deal with, a comatose person walking around as a ghost of sorts.
Right.
We're going to be dealing with just basic drama, very, very straightforward, not supernatural stuff. I mean, there could be supernatural stuff to it, but doesn't have to be.
And I gotta say, like, even though I'm not a fan of Amnesia kind of like plot developments in general, one of the things that I do like about how this ended up resolving for as an arc, with the the happy idea of them still knowing about the rumor of Fuko, even if they can't remember Fuko, and having these associated like impressions of her, right? Is that if you have an arc with a bunch of fairly regular-ish people at a high school, and it's a very emotionally impactful arc, how do you make it so that character doesn't kind of
overshadow
or overwrite the stuff that you want to do later with the character's own emotional plights and everything, and having it be something where there is a mechanical reason, even if it's a bit of a dirty trick, to make it be something where
make it so they can't see her.
Right.
Yeah, that's really all they had to do. The main difference here is that they're probably never going to mention Fuko again, like outside of like the one time. And the thing is that is something that I would love to see not happen. I would love to see them mention Fuko like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times or what have you over the course of this series. But have it be a thing where it's like, okay, cool, that's great. Now, because Fuko is comatose, she's not dead, there is a possibility that she wakes up. And that could be a thing. One of the things that is kind of inherent in the idea of the later season being called After Story is that it's after the story. Means that we could have a bit of a time skip. We could have a little bit of time, and that's when you could have Fuko like come back, basically.
Yeah, who knows? That could even be the potential like reason why the time skip like stops. If like there's a time skip and then it's like, oh, why are we going back into the story now? Maybe someone wakes up, or or who knows?
That could be pretty cool.
Yeah,
and given that I mean, she was obviously trying to ship the two of them. She's like, hey, like you two obviously are like close. So why aren't you on a first name basis? Come on.
Right.
And it's
Am I the kid, or are you guys the ones that are childish?
exactly. Why are you calling me the kid? Because you guys are the ones that are acting all like, oh, squeamish, and like, I don't know.
First off, give me my party hat.
Yeah,
Second,
exactly.
let me have this. Yeah.
Fuko's comedy bits were S-class. They were wonderful. I think that's the thing that I really want to emphasize here is that I loved Fuko as a character, not just for her shtick, which was it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. But I think what was the best part was how like pedantic and like frustrated she would get about like the nonsense she'd have to put up with
right.
like
she was the sensible one.
Like she was the sensible one, even though she was absolutely not for like 80% of the time, you know.
Well,
like,
and even with the rest of the cast as a whole.
Yes.
She is probably one of the more bizarre characters.
Oh, way more bizarre, yes.
And yet she has to be the one that's reasonable and is the adult and wears the pants in the situation.
like simple, like kind of casual moment, basically, that she had with them.
Yep.
And I loved the immediate thing of, oh, we're gonna light candles? Well, we're gonna watch those burn out, aren't we? Like immediately, like, all right, well, fuck you, show.
Right.
Like I know exactly where this is going.
Clannad doesn't necessarily try and surprise you. It wants you to see the train coming, you know?
It wants you to willingly lay your head on the track and be like, okay. You know? You're just like...
And they're blowing the whistle the entire time as it's approaching.
And you're just like, I'm okay
chugga,
with
chugga,
this.
chugga, chugga. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. But, hey, cool. We might deal with the sisters next. Very much seemed like they were starting to hint at that with regards to...
hey, come shopping with us. Yeah.
Kyo. Yeah. The Fujibayashi sisters. I really like the idea of having this be the arc structure.
Ooh, yeah.
Just as to what they do for the story.
Uh-huh.
I feel like, though, there's still too many characters to really do this in the same length, though.
Right, because
I feel like the next arc
2
needs to be
cores
shorter.
per season, how do you do that with, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
But just maybe, like, they combo the sisters, so there's one arc.
Sure.
Tomoyo or Sakagami, that could be another arc.
Right.
But then it's like, but doesn't the story just end at that point?
Right, because you'd think that at the
I
very
think we
least...
need a Nagisa arc at the very least.
Right, and you'd think at the very least all of the characters that get their names shown in the OP.
Oh God, yeah, and
would
then
have
there's
arcs.
Right, and then there's also Ichinose.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't she in the OP too? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah. You don't have
so
time.
do you want to just go through the OP and like so we can figure out exactly who has names listed? Because that doesn't necessarily have to.
Well, I believe I put them all in the notes here. These are the ones that had the names. So Nagisa, and then we have the sisters Kyo,
Tomoyo,
Fuko, and then Ichinose.
Yeah, Ichinose was in there.
Hold on. Oh wait, is she not?
No, she's definitely in there.
It's in the earlier bit here.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
There she is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a couple things about the OP that are starting to stand out a little bit more and more as I've watched it now like all these times. But there's the horror bit where it like freaks out and shows all the like potential like death imagery. But then also this like character running through the springtime,
the Field of Flowers.
Field of Flowers looks kind of like a kid, not really like a high schooler.
Okay. All right.
So there could be this idea of like new life,
Sure. Yeah.
Or like a backstory here. But then Nagisa lying down in the snow there does not look wholesome. Like lying down, the arms are not uniformed. It is slack. So that's one
young
thing.
Young Nagisa lying down in the snow? What are you talking about?
But another one I thought was really okay, is this one here where Tomoyo Sakagami is for a brief little bit shown kind of looking around and stuff. And
there's the bear outfit.
And then there's a wheelchair with someone pushing it.
What?
Why is that? Isn't she the athletic one?
The one whose kicks are powerful enough to shake the planet?
Yeah.
That'd be a shame. Yeah.
Curious. And then, where's the Ichinose one? There's this like kind of string thing almost in the background here.
Yes, definitely a string motif, and she's shown playing the violin.
Yes. Yeah. That was basically the idea. But also there's this like empty like little picnic table or of sorts. Like in the
Katomi's lie in April. Oh.
Well, I mean
I'm just saying that to make the joke.
I know,
or am I?
No, but I got the vibe on a couple of these characters that
you're expecting them to do like the anime cough.
I mean, not all of them, but I think at this point now, Nagisa, Fuko, and at the very least, Sakagami are all going to deal with extreme loss of something with regards to their capabilities. Either they don't go on living, like Nagisa. Fuko doesn't necessarily go on having those connections or what have you.
We effectively had a death of Fuko.
Yeah. And Sakagami might experience something similar as well, where she loses the opportunity to go to school, maybe, or something like that. So
or kick Tsunohara's face in.
Yeah. And then if we're going on the sisters next, I get absolutely no hints in my mind as to like where I think their story could go. Like I don't have any guesses. So I'm now like, wait a minute. Like I want to know like what pattern we establish now with the next story arc.
And let's see if we can maybe get more of that comedy that Clannad's so good at to help us recover from this.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean I think we have a nice, straight man for the comedy and a prankster for that bit there. But given that the other characters are much more spunky, I would say, than Fuko was. Fuko was spunky in a different way, but most of the other characters are way more like,
direct,
yeah, get shit done.
Right, we have two...
No nonsense.
We have two female characters in this show that have been shown to be able to physically beat the shit out of people regularly. Whether it's by throwing a book like a frisbee, or, a 1,000 hit combo on Tsunohara.
Yeah. This show is the 1,000 hit combo on our hearts and our little souls.
That's
and
right.
It's just like
and then Clannad. We go flying. After story kicks us back.
But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.